And now I need to go to my live. There we go. Go live. I think we're there.
Are we live?
Are we live? Meeting is streaming live from Facebook.
Check my page.
You okay?
Yeah, I was just going to check your page to make sure, but hello and welcome.
Yes, welcome. So this is going on to Remedial Therapy Clinic at the moment with the lovely Ria, with her wonderful space at Miller's Farm, and but which you'll share as well. And we just wanted to have a little chat, didn't we, about
we did
doing.
Well, so just I think it's really important for you to explain like how powerful this meditation that you're creating is, the Love to Heal, and obviously I was privileged to have you come to the New Moon Circle and experience it. But for those people, because I think there's a lot of anxiety for some people around meditation, like they think they can't do it, so they won't, it's not for them, or they don't understand what it is, and then how you bring in movement and everything. So I just thought it'd be really great to come on live and just have you chat, really, to put that into a little,
to get a feeling of what it's all about. Yeah, and you're completely right with regards to meditation. A lot of people will try it, they put a pressure on themselves thinking, right, I've got to be still, I've got to have my mind quiet, and it's not, because generally the mind very rarely is quiet, and it's more about being mindful of those thoughts that are coming through rather than try and suppress them. So people will try a bit of meditation, can't be still. They've probably gone into a busy day, suddenly, right, must do this under, not necessarily wishing to do it, but feel they should do it, which is also something else I could go on about with that one, but I'll park that for the moment. But it's actually being able to slowly calm the central nervous system, and you can't go from suddenly being exceptionally busy with lots of things to do to suddenly stop your brain and go, right, okay, peaceful, and then give yourself a hard time because that's not happening, because you've got a perceived idea of what it should be. So actually meditation itself is really about connection to yourself, connection to your mind, and how I extend that is connection to your body, because me being a body therapist working through the fascia and energy levels, this is what we've got. We have this vessel, we have this miracle, which a lot of us reject because we don't think it's good enough, especially women. And it's actually using and connecting to our body, and have come from this whole Love to Heal meditation is about listening to your body, to be able to observe it, and then to be able to make changes of the old belief patterns, the emotions, through the visualization, which then ultimately empowers us and our health. And to know that actually it's a whole body thing. And if we're stuck up here, we're not connecting to all the wisdom that's within us. There's so much more wisdom. It's like a heart's 5,000 times the frequency of our brain. So and our gut has 100 million neurons separate to the brain. It has its own central nervous system, its own brain. So it's really about connecting to that wisdom within, and to be able to start shaking off the old BS. I'll call that belief systems because I feel like I need to be professional right now. But it's this nonsense that we carry of ourselves that we think is our truth. Whereas actually, when you really come right down to what we are, is actually we're love, we're joy, and we're peace. But somewhere along our conditioning in our own lives, and also the imprinted ancestral stuff that comes a lot through the mother lineage, we carry that. We carry those fears. We carry those old belief systems, those imposter syndromes, and all of us that blocks us from being who we are. And it's really evolving this Love to Heal is, okay, I started it off from a health perspective to understand what your pain is showing you and what your illness is and what is the emotion underneath that. But ultimately, if you're working and you're healthy in your body, you're healthy in your relationships, you're healthy with your work and your business, because it's all the same. It's all us. So it's seeing that frequency and raising that vibration and the power that's in you.
Amazing. And I think, like you say, we're so caught, like society has a very good way, or the system has a very good way of trapping us within our heads. Like we're just up here all the time. And if we don't schedule in those moments to sit and still it and get into our bodies, like you say, like you're not living your life. You're just sort of, you're being pulled along, aren't you? And you're not actually like able to consciously steer your ship. So you end up where whoever's like pulling the strings wants you to be, rather than really grounding yourself and thinking, this is what I want for my life. And I think that's what I want to do with my work. Like we're so like connected, I think, in what we want to do. It's just bringing us back to ourselves, isn't it?
Ultimately, yeah. And that there's a huge amount of power in that.
Huge amount. So
Completely.
And we're not taught it, are we, in schools? There's just nothing at all. We just get into later life and we think, hang on a minute, something's not quite right.
Yeah, something isn't resonating with me right now, which I think is brow chakra, crown chakra, and where you're starting to really look at the perspective and see things from a different way, and that different connection, which goes in cycles. So it's around when you're about 28, but then the systems and the chakras go around again in like a beautiful symphony, and around the 40s. Obviously, we don't look 40 at all, really, do we? But we're just. But in that moment, you start reevaluating life and go, well, this isn't what I thought I was actually doing all this for. I'm actually not really happy, or I'm tired, or I'm not healthy, or you start to really question and start to go, actually, this isn't serving me. This isn't serving me joy, and it's not serving me purpose. And the first way to do it is actually come within.
Come within. So talk to us about, so with the Love to Heal meditation, talk to us about the movement part. Like what is your concept? What are you birthing into the world with your Love to Heal meditation?
Okay. Well, my thought with it as well, because I think to be able to just come from your normal day life and then jump in and sit still is quite a hard ask for yourself. So actually, when you bring in 10 minutes or so of movement, and you're able to transition your brain frequency to start to calm. And the meditation, the visualization is really about grounding. So there's the movement is about connecting to your body, seeing how it flows, and being able to hear it a little bit more. And so when you're actually more in movement, you're not so much in here, and you're more in the present of what you're doing. So it's a good transition to come through, as well as the somatic releasing as you're coming through your body and breathing into your body. You enable yourself to just, especially when you're in the classes as well, is just free yourself from judgment, because you can stand there and go, what are they thinking about me? What they do? And it's about just going, that's okay, because they're going to be probably having the very similar thoughts themselves. And it's this liberation of being able to go, this is me, and I'm going to be in me, and I'm just going to let this flow and allow that fear, that ego to just quieten for a moment and be in my body and feel it and enjoy it. And I've really recognized with my own healing is that as much as I've tried to do things, I've never been grounded enough. And I could be hugging my trees, I could be sea swimming, and it's like, why am I not grounded? And it was because I wasn't accepting my body. I literally did this full moon release a year or so ago, maybe more, and I actually forgave myself for rejecting my body time and time again, even though and I thanked her for always being there, even when I rejected her. And I just had this whoosh of emotion come through, because I've always done self-sabotage. I'm not good enough, my body's this, and it still plays out, but it's quieter. It doesn't take over. And then I just felt more grounded. I felt more connected. So for everything that we need to do, that we want to manifest, that we want to be healthier, it's all about being grounded and in our bodies.
100%. And I think when you have that manifestation or that dream that just isn't happening, it's because you're not grounded, because you're not able to birth it in, you're not able to like bring it down into the earth, into the physical form. So I think And again, where are we ever taught about the importance of this, you know, because we're just plugged in, you know, we're in a society that is encouraging us to be on the telly and plugged in and just, you know, but when really do we have a chance to get into our body like that? And actually it's so important. If you're really trying to achieve something in your life, like, it's vital, isn't it?
Exactly. And we have to keep grounding, like I say, you've got to keep grounding it through. And that's if we're not grounding. And also if we want to take it even a bigger level energetically, there's huge amount of energy coming through us right now. There's lots being beamed into Earth and through our systems. This is why a lot of people are kind of looking and changing their patterns and looking what serves them more and questioning things a lot more, or awakening, whatever people want to call it. But if we just keep it here, it can create a whole load of overwhelm and stress and anxiety, because it's like a lightning bolt with no grounding. So it just energetically, which is like this. So we actually have to earth it through every aspect of our system, right down to earth. And how I do a lot of visualization and what's come through is that we have to allow it to come through into earth, for the earth to be able to transmute that into something physically that we can receive, to allow that back up. So I do a lot of the visualizations, the connection of the soul to the earth star, and bringing that alignment and that flow together. And then later it's the lying down. Once we've been able to shift through that, it's connecting then deeply into the heart and allowing the heart space to open and to receive, because we can have these amazing ideas of what we want to achieve and everything else, but if we haven't got the element of I'm worthy of all this and I have the ability to receive it, it doesn't quite land.
No.
So again, it's all BS about you're not worthy, that you're not enough. And actually all of everything that is already in you. So it's actually about activating it, allowing it to expand out of you.
So for someone who is on the edge of wanting to come to one of your Love to Heal movement meditations, what can they expect? Like, just because I know when I'm doing something new, I can get very anxious and worry about the small little things. So could you give them a little bit of an insight of what happens? Like, you open the door.
Okay. Yep. So first of all, they come through your lovely shop. Do I go into what I think that is, Ria? You know what? I've had my thoughts about your lovely shop. No.
It's your page. It's up to you.
Well, yes, I see it as a lovely yoni, a vagina, as you come in through this lovely crystal, beautiful candle shop, and then you come up into the back of there. It's the womb, and it's that connection. So that might have put everybody off. Who knows? Might have just have a load of men come tomorrow. Hey, but it's just. No, it's about, you have a beautiful shop, let's face it, and you've just done it so lovely. So instantly I'd have to guide people past for a little bit through the crystals and come into your lovely space with all your scents of the candles, which is amazingly just calms and earths. And then it would be just a welcome and get people settled, and it just getting people to introduce themselves but it's no one's going to have to do anything they don't want to do. Okay, so empowerment is choice. Okay? As soon as you know you've got a choice, you're empowered. And it's all the BS that's told you haven't got a choice.
We're told to perform, aren't we? We're taught to do what we're told.
Yeah, or you have to do something for somebody else because they might think you're rude or blah 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 blah. And it's actually, boundaries is something, again, that has never been really told to us women. I think you just have to accept, and actually health is about healthy boundaries, what you let in and what you let out. If you've got that blocked, you've got toxicity and then you've got ill health. So boundaries is going to be in everything. I can talk quite a lot, obviously, but it will all be about establishing that. So you come in, it's a very nice, warm, calm room. We'll just get ourselves settled. And I'll just do a little talk, a little bit like what we've just done, in terms of just understanding what's going to happen. In terms of, we've got some movement. I've got these lovely shamanic drums that kind of get us into the zone, get into the flow of the hips. And I do a visualization, and people just will move to what their body can do. And that's the real key. It's about really listening to the body, so not comparing what everyone else is doing. To be honest, if you're grounded enough, you can have your eyes sort of closed and just enjoy being in your body, but listening to what it can do. not to push it, not to stretch it and think you've got to do this because everyone else is. That's just, again, that's unserving. So it's helping you kind of nurture your body. And then it's a matter of lying down, getting cuddled up. And I will actually continue another sort of meditation where it's, like I say, connecting to the heart and releasing. And it can change because I'll be in tune to everybody. So I'll be guided. So I'm doing a lot of channeling at that time of like what feels right for everybody. And funnily enough, everyone that will turn up tomorrow will probably have the same thing. It just generally happens that way. And then I'll often, if people are happy to, I can do some Reiki, just walking around, holding their feet, doing some grounding. And then what we could do is just have at the end of that, once people have come through, is I've got some beautiful oracle cards. And if anybody wants one, we can choose one. And it might just help them reflect what happened, what shifted for them, and to create that awareness a little bit more, rather than the cycle that is just that hamster wheel of thought process. This is what I think, the body responds, oh, that's my truth, oh, I'm going to keep doing this, whereas actually we're breaking a pattern.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's some chocolate too, so if none of that sounded very interesting, get some chocolate. So because magnesium in the chocol's really grounding as well. So
love it.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to book on tomorrow, where do they go? How do they do it? Okay,
so I've got an Eventbrite link, and I can put that underneath this tag of this video. So it's £20 for the 2 hours, and if people bring some blankets and some pillows and a mat and an open mind, I guess, and an open heart. Yeah.
Lovely. Is there any message, anything else you want to share, or does that feel?
Once I get started, really, I can't stop, can I? So it's imposter syndrome, just is like so gone, it's sort of disappearing slowly. No, I just think even if tomorrow doesn't work for you, like, so I'm coming to you every Wednesday, first Wednesday of each month between 6 and 8. And, so I'll be continuing those whenever it feels right. But it's just, I guess the message really is just be kind to yourself, just be gentle, and know that you're always enough. And if things start to feel like they're falling away at the moment, maybe they're falling away for a reason, to be able to serve you more joy.
100%. Again, we are conditioned to fear the falling away, aren't we? But actually it's often for our highest good, and
yes,
needs to happen. So
yeah, definitely. And then another thing that's coming up is that we need to really recognize our currency of what we bring to things. So we've been conditioned from a masculine aspect of the doing, we have to be very busy. Whereas actually the currency that we need to be exchanging is actually more joy, more purpose. And then that creates the manifestation. That creates what we wish to see, feel, and be. And I'm seeing a big division now. The more you try and be in those old patterns, it just doesn't work. We're having to let go of those old ways to go more what serves me, what gives me joy.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for this impromptu little chat. Yeah, I think that's perfect. So if you want to book, the link will be below. And like Gemma said, if not this Wednesday, first Wednesday of every month, you will be.
Thank you for letting me be part of this. Thanks, Ria. Take care.